So Kevin, I'm sorry, we're in a theater. Someone's rehearsing down here. Is the French show?
Yeah.
I don't think we have the political rights to tell the French show not to rehearse right now. So we're going to listen to this in the background. Okay, so you got it. The atelier. You need a space of your own, so you're not always trying to. You have to coordinate with French and English theater and dance as to when you get a space.
Yeah. And more than that. So there's pop theater, music, and variety. There's French theater. There's dance. There's English theater, and there's the orchestra. So orchestra is primarily, of course, Southern Hall. So we don't often program into Southern Hall, but there's that space available to us if we have a show. So for the most part, it's 5 of us, all competing for 3 stages. 4th stage, also primarily music. Sometimes there's a small play, 1-person show, monologue. But mostly it's the studio and the theater. So those 2 are our primary stages. And there's 5 departments all vying for time on those spaces. And so it can be quite challenging.
And how much in advance do you have to work out when you get what space when?
2 years.
How can you?
Well, it gets really, and as you get closer to the second, like when you're 2 years out is when you begin to start to lay down your territory, right?
Yeah.
That you're gonna try to claim. And then as you get closer, you get more specific. But typically it's about a year and a half out where you start to tighten things up. And then by that year, it's usually pretty solid because you're booking people. Yep. And so you're booking and you're flying and you're accommodating folks from all over the world and across the country.
And is English theater, French theater, popular theater, and the orchestra all equally frustrated of trying to negotiate for space?
Well, it's a bit of, you can describe it as, people describe it as like getting their elbows up or horse trading. I sometimes describe it as a knife fight. Depends on what the situation is. But fortunately, I mean, at the beginning I used to have to do a lot of that work, but a lot of that is handled by Laurie Marchand, who's the managing director.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's not that contested, but it can get quite heated because you all have your agendas that you're all trying to work through in your own little silos, right? And we've been trying to work less in silos, but it is still a very, we're 6 departments in this one space, and so it can't help but sort of, run into each other.
So if each department had its own little atelier off-site, you'd always have a constant space you don't have to fight over? Not fight, negotiate over.
Sure, that might solve it, but I would be more interested in just a space that was more flexible to experimentation, more flexible in terms of like workshopping and trying things out. It's a very difficult building to like build and produce a new work in, right, because it is so contested in time and it's so expensive because of all of the things. And so to have a space that was outside of the NAC where you could play. So much of our work is about playing and failing, right? And learning through failure and improving on that. It's not a space really set up to be able to do that. You don't come to the NAC to fail, right? Whereas in an atelier, in a studio space, you have the opportunity to try things and to fall on your face and get back up and put it back together.
I've been in a show that's failed here.
Certainly. I mean, and it happens,